everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Delilah from the Holistic Enchilada, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about everything that I learned in my second year of following the Curly Girl method. So now that I'm in my third year of CG, I figured I would recount all the things that I learned last year and things that I changed. And really it was just a year of a lot of experimenting, which was my goal. After my first year, I said I wanted to branch out and try different products and techniques and stuff and see how my hair reacts. And I just really wanted to learn more about my hair, and that's exactly what happened. I tried tons of products and techniques. Most of them did not work, but by doing that I learned more about my hair, how it behaves, what ingredients it likes, what ingredients it hates, what techniques, go well for my hair, that kind of thing. So I'm always encouraging you guys to experiment as much as you can, and as much as it's a pain in the butt, because you have terrible wash days, you have those flops, you have days where your hair just looks like crap because you tried something and it didn't work. But that's okay, that's part of this process. And I'm not that kind to be inclined to do that. It's funny that I blog about beauty and stuff, but I'm not a product hoarder, and I never was. So I don't buy a lot of products. Most of the products that I use at this point are gifted to me, but even before that, I just have a very minimal routine. I don't have a lot of space. I've always lived in a small house, and I've never had the space to just accumulate products. Aside from the money, I've never had the money to just go and buy a bunch of different products and try them out. So I don't know, I'm the kind that basically if something works, I just stick with it. And this is really just referencing products. I'm not like this in any other areas of my life. With food and stuff like that, I'm really adventurous. Even just traveling and being a little spontaneous and stuff like that. So it's funny how with my personal care products, I'm not really like that. I find something that works and then I stick to that. I'm very loyal. So blessed to be in the position where brands send me their products that I can share with you guys, and I can give them feedback, and I do learn about different products, and I find new and favorite things, and then I do repurchase a lot of these. So even though brands do send me products, I don't talk about everything that I get, because I'm not going to waste your time, and I don't want you to I'm not going to recommend something that I didn't like, that sucked, and then you go and you buy it and it sucks, and then you're like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, I'm never going to listen to her again. That's the last thing I want. So I wouldn't do that. So I'm very picky about the brands that I work with and what I share with you guys. So that being said, this video is going to be about everything that I learned in my second year. And the main thing was, how I learned all this stuff, like I said, was through experimenting. So I encourage you to do that, like I said before. All right, on to the things that I learned, and these are things specific to my hair. This is not like a curly girl method hacks or tricks or whatever. It's not. This is just about my hair, and I'm hopeful that if your hair is somewhat like mine, maybe these things that I learned will help you. Maybe some of this is true for you too. So that's why I'm sharing this. So first up, I learned that my hair does not like a lot of moisture, and that may not be a surprise to some of you because I've talked about it in more recent videos. But in the beginning of the Curly Girl method, especially when I started it years ago, there were not a bunch of blogs and YouTubers and stuff like that. So I just had the Curly Girl Handbook by Larry Massey. That was it. And the people who talked about it, they were forums and stuff, but the whole thing was moisturize your hair. Your hair is curly, it needs lots and lots and lots of moisture. So I did that. And I remember I started with Shea Moisture, and it wasn't bad, but my hair was really weighed down. The curls were a little bit stretched out. I mean, it didn't look like it looks now, for sure. And I thought my hair looked great though, because it was still an improvement from how it was before, and it was so soft. And it was somewhat damaged in the beginning. I had highlighted my hair maybe 6 months before I started the Curly Girl method, and I had a lot of heat damage from straightening my hair for basically 15 years. So I did have some damage, and when you have more damage, your hair does need a lot more moisture. But I think that as time went on, and going into my second, third year, my hair, and cutting off the damaged hair and the dye, I don't have any hair dye left at this point. I think my hair is just healthier, and the fact that it's high porosity, It absorbs moisture so easily, and it's fine and thin. It just doesn't need a lot of it anymore. So I was noticing when I deep conditioned that it was getting very soft, super fluffy, not holding the curl pattern at all. It was more like wavy, and it had like no structure, very like fluffy looking all the time. So although it felt really nice because it was really soft, it just didn't really look that good. And I didn't realize that it was the moisture until I, realized, hey, this happens whenever I deep condition. So like the previous year, one of the things I learned was to deep condition on dirty hair. That was great. But then I was using styling products with a lot of moisture in them, and the same thing was happening. And so I started noticing that pattern. If I used creamy products, or if I left in more conditioner, or if just the conditioner that I used was a little bit heavier, same results. So I now know that I have to opt for products in general that are geared towards fine, thin hair, usually things that are for volume. So I won't necessarily pick something that's for curly hair. And actually, I do avoid curly hair lines, like specific for curly hair, because they're usually too heavy for my hair. So I use other lines that are just curly girl approved. For example, with Evolve, I can use any of the Evolve products, the Smart Curl or the Ultra Shine or the Smart Color, and they just launched an Insta Volume line, which I'm so excited to try, see if that gives my hair some more volume. Although I got a haircut, as you can see, and this is giving me all the volume that I had wanted. Like, I'm so happy with it. But yeah, lot less moisture. I can even skip leave-in conditioner at this point. I deep condition very rarely, but I make sure that my deep conditioner has a lot of protein in it, because otherwise my hair cannot handle that amount of moisture. Okay, the next thing is my hair loves to be clarified. And I did not touch a clarifying shampoo for the whole first year. I didn't think I needed to clarify. I was like, oh, I'm using water-soluble products. Why do I need to clarify? I was wrong. Although the products are water-soluble, other things build up on your hair. And I mean, the products do build up after time. It's much longer than if you're using, say, Shea Moisture or something like that. Those build up really quickly. But like with Raw Curls and Evolve, which is what I was using mainly in the beginning, there's really not a lot of buildup with those products. But there's mineral buildup from the water. There's just daily buildup from the scalp flaking off and all that stuff. So I started clarifying, and I was like really scared at first, like, oh, let me clarify like once every 2 months. And then I kept like 6 weeks and 4 weeks, and it's like I can probably clarify my hair like every week and it would be fine. I don't, because I know that it is a bit drying. So I do at maximum twice a month, but I do now live in an area with really hard water. So that's the only reason that I'm doing it sometimes twice a month. Usually I only do it once a month. But my hair loves it. I noticed that when I clarify, it just like revives my hair. Like, it's bouncy, it's shiny, it's soft. It's just, my curls just bounce right back. So I knew that I needed to up how often I was doing my clarifying treatments. Next thing I learned is that my hair can air dry almost nearly identical to diffusing, which is amazing, because in the beginning, if I air dried my hair, it literally looked like this. I mean, it was just like complete flat, stretched out curls. Like it wouldn't do this at all. It would be like a totally stretched out wave is what I would get. And my hair was about this length, so it's not that it was like long and weighed down. It just needed time. I needed more time. And now that it's been 2 years, I can air dry, and my hair looks almost the same as if I were to diffuse. I get the same amount of volume, because I know what to do. I know the tricks now, and my hair is just healthier. It just naturally curls without all the extra manipulation and scrunching and all the stuff that I had to do in the beginning. So I think that's a factor of just a lot of time. My hair has healed. It's used to, being more and curly all the time, so it just naturally dries in this state. So I'm very happy that I can air dry. I don't really do it because it just takes too long. It takes like 3 hours, and I'm usually too impatient for that, and diffusing takes me less than 10 minutes. So I mean, it's not, I know for some people like diffusing takes like an hour, so if that was me, I probably would, nah, I'm just gonna air dry. But for 10 minutes I can suck it up and diffuse my hair. So that's what I do. Okay, another thing I learned is that I cannot layer products. So I feel like this past year, Instagram curly hair influencers like blew up. There were like so many of them, and one of the things that I noticed is that they are always inventing new styling methods. Like, 123 gel and mousse gel mousse, and I don't know, just like all these different ways to apply your products that I don't know if it's unnecessary. I'm sure it works for some people, but I feel like it's complicating things. And I've tried a lot of them because I was seeing so many people say that they had great results. None of them worked for my hair, and I realized that I really only need one styler. And in talking to different curl experts, because when I was working on my curly hair course, I interviewed a ton of experts and I was getting their feedback and trying to have really accurate, helpful content. I asked a lot about application techniques and products and all that stuff, and most of them won't use more than 2 products. And 2 products is for people with thick, heavier, more coarse hair than what I have. So for me, it would always be like every time I've gotten my hair cut and styled, it's one styling product that they use. It's either a gel or mousse, that's it. And those 2 happen to be the products that in my experience always work well for me too. So I know they know more than I do, and they know more than the influencers do. So I think that, yeah, I just learned that I can't follow, I guess, what other people are doing. And one of those things is I can't layer products because my hair gets product overload very quickly, gets weighed down. It just gets stringy, and it feels gross. Like, you know, when you can feel all that product in your hair. I don't like that. I want to feel my hair. I want it to feel light and loose and just like feel like hair, you know, soft hair. I don't want to feel the product in my hair. And maybe some people do, and maybe that's you, and that's fine. But that's not me. I don't want to feel the product in my hair. So no layering products for me. I just use one styling product. If it's going to be something like a mousse, then I got to use a little bit more than I would a gel, because that kind of product just doesn't provide as much hold. But I don't need to, like, if even trying to layer mousse and gel, just a total disaster for me. So that could be the case for you. Another thing I learned is that I absolutely need to use low poo all the time. And this was something that I suspected from the beginning. I never tried to co-wash because I always thought that I needed to shampoo. But I decided, let me give co-washing a try, because I found other people with hair that's just like mine who were strictly co-washing, and they had amazing hair with volume and all that. And I thought, okay, you know, let me give it a try. But it doesn't work for me. It's great to use as one wash, but not back to back. So for example, let's say I wash my hair on Monday and I use a regular low poo shampoo, and then the next day I wash my hair on Thursday, I can use a co-wash, fine. But then when I wash my hair again on Sunday, I gotta use a low poo. I can't do co-wash again because it weighs down my hair. It's too moisturizing. I think that ties in with the whole my hair doesn't like moisture thing, and co-washing is a really moisturizing way to wash your hair, and my hair likes clarifying. So it's just something that I can use in between if my hair feels dry. But don't think that you have to strictly co-wash, because you don't. You just have to avoid sulfates. You can shampoo every time you wash your hair. If you think that your hair is dry, it's feeling dry, then maybe a co-wash is better for you, or you can alternate, but you don't need to strictly co-wash. Okay, next, the next thing I learned is that my hair really doesn't like products that have a lot of, or my hair doesn't like styling products that have a lot of protein in them. So I learned that my hair likes protein, and I added that into my routine by making sure that all my products have some protein in them, and that my deep conditioner is basically a protein mask, because I can't do moisturizing deep conditioner. It doesn't do anything for my hair. I need protein. So I was like, oh, protein. So I threw protein in with the styling products. And although I do get good definition, it's just too stringy and it doesn't feel as soft. So I think it's just too much for my hair. So I stick with protein in my conditioner and in my leave-in conditioner. And then my styling products can have some protein, but there, for example, the Trelux high definition gel, which I actually really like, it's just very high in protein. So I just make sure that I pair it with the Giovanni leave-in conditioner that doesn't have protein in it, and that works well for me. But it still like feels a little bit different. It doesn't feel as soft, and it doesn't look as shiny as when I use other gels. And I like the way it looks, and it's fine, but I can tell that too much protein in my styling products is not good for my hair. So again, that's something that you're just gonna figure out with experimenting. You'll see, okay, these particular products didn't work for me, what do they have in common? Look at the ingredients and see if you can find some commonalities, and then maybe you can identify like, oh, maybe it's aloe, or maybe it's the protein, or maybe it's coconut. Some people are sensitive to coconut, and that's how you find out what your hair doesn't like. It's by trying different products and then comparing them to see what they have in common. So yeah, I did that, and the thing that I noticed that they had in common is protein. The one thing that I noticed that my hair absolutely loves, which baffles me because it makes no sense living in Florida, is glycerin. My hair loves glycerin. Any product that I use that has glycerin as one of the first 4 or 5 ingredients is just so bouncy and defined. I don't understand, because there's so much humidity here and my hair is high porosity that I don't know why it looks so good with glycerin, even if it's not a strong hold product. So I know that a lot of people struggle with glycerin, especially in humid environments, and sometimes the things that I recommend don't work for them. It's probably because glycerin for most people in a high humidity environment is not a good idea. So I have learned that my hair tolerates it really well. But when I think about it now, in the very beginning, I remember that glycerin was in one of the gels that I would use, and it was a total disaster every time I tried to use it. So I think that part of the reason my hair likes it now and it's okay with it is because it's healthy. Once again, it's been years now. I haven't straightened it. I don't heat style. You know, there's no color damage, processing going on. So it's really healthy. And I think that it's just less affected by things like the environment than it used to be. I definitely have a lot less frizz now, and what I do is not that much different. I think it's just the fact that time has passed, my hair has healed, and it's just a lot healthier. The last thing that I learned is about product application methods. So in the beginning, I had tried, I believe, praying hands, squishing for sure, because that's like the best thing for my hair, and raking. And the first year, praying hands and raking were horrible for my hair. So I just squished. I would just, after detangling my hair in the shower with the leave-in conditioner, I would just squish in my styling product, and that was it. That's all I needed to do. But in the past year, I have done raking. I've tried a bunch of other ones too, but like raking is actually working really well to get my hair to clump in smaller clumps, and I think that's what's making the difference, because when I just squish up, I get these nice big juicy clumps, which is great for people who have a lot of hair. But for people like me who don't have a lot of hair, I don't want to have just 5 clumps on my head, because then it looks like I have 5 hairs on my head. So I want a lot of smaller clumps, and raking has helped me to get the right size of clumps so that I have much more volume. So the raking works really well to get the right size of curl clumps, a lot less frizz, and then I can work on the squishing, and I have much more volume than I used to have. And I'm putting that down to the fact that raking and squishing have now become the preferred styling method for me, which is not, like I said, not what worked for me back then. So things change, you know, like as your hair improves and you're using different products and you get different hairstyles, cut your hair, you're gonna have to tweak your products and methods. Products not so much, but maybe the methods. You're gonna have to tweak your methods. And so by experimenting with different methods, I've realized how to get more volume in my hair, which is great. I also tried a bunch of things that didn't work for me, like brushing. Everybody raves about brushing and brush styling, and you guys have seen I have 2 videos on brush styling. It's not bad, but I just don't like it. It doesn't really work well for my hair. You know, other things, praying hands gives me so much frizz because it doesn't smooth the clumps. It just makes all the hair stick together, but I got a lot of like webbing. So praying hands doesn't really work very well for me. For some people it works really great. So again, experimenting, lots of experimenting. So those are the things that I learned in my second year of following the Curly Girl method. If you want to go ahead and share something in the comments that you learned, I'd love to hear from you. If you have any other feedback, I also love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for all your support and comments and the growth that I've had recently. I really appreciate it. I have all of this outlined in a blog post, so I'm going to link that below so you can refer to that. And I did mention something about a course earlier, so I did launch a curly hair course. It's basically for people who need a little more help. So somebody who kind of needs, like, this is the next step you take, for me to kind of walk them along. It's a video text course, so it's a mixture of video and text, and it's gonna walk you through how to build a routine, how to identify your hair type, what type specific products that work for your hair. So you're going to be able to figure out what your hair likes, what your hair doesn't like, how to build a very consistent routine, how to record your progress and keep an eye on the progress of your hair, and then a little bit about maintenance and troubleshooting different things like frizz and hair loss and scalp issues and that kind of stuff. So that's all in the course. I'm going to link that below. I also just launched a few days ago coaching sessions, so consultations, and I have very affordable options. So if you've got a question, you need a little bit of help with a particular topic, then you can book me for 15, 30, or 45-minute sessions. And I also have a clean beauty consultation as well. So if you want to make the switch to clean beauty products, you need a little bit of help, not sure where to start, I'm talking about makeup, skincare, hair care, whatever, you can also book one of those sessions. So I'm gonna put the link below for my coaching sessions as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.